ET Final Score is brought to you by Ashley Furniture.
Tell me, why is this exhibition such a big deal for the Tyler Museum of Art?
Well, actually there's a couple of reasons. One is because of the artists whose works we are bringing in, that they are the Wyeths artists, NC, Andrew, and Jamie. And these artists are very, very important in 20th century American art scene. And moreover, what's interesting is that they belong to the same family. So there's like 3 generations of important artists, widely recognized. This happened maybe, about 200 years ago, over 200 years ago. And there was one important family in Boston that produced a lot of important, active artists back then. But the Wyeths are also important because of the kind of things that they painted. And they were doing this against the backdrop of, especially with Andrew, against the abstract impressionism. When a lot of artists were painting abstract paintings, they stuck to the representational paintings. And they portrayed images and scenes. Those scenes were very important in the sense that they produced a vision for America as they saw it, based in New England in the Northeast. Now, and of course, but they're widely known, okay, nationally, internationally famous. But on top of that, the fact that the art we brought in is very important, done by important artists. On top of that, it's very important because this is an example of a small museum, a regional museum in Texas, that is going out and asking to borrow from as many of the collectors and the museums in this state, in Texas, and only in Texas, to borrow their prized works done by Wyeth artists. And indeed, it's the case that we are borrowing from all over across Texas, from Brownsville to the south, El Paso, Lubbock to the west, Canyon to the north, and of course, central areas like San Angelo, and of course, Dallas and Houston, from the major museums as well as regional museums, as well as very important collectors living in the state. They're all Texans. We're bringing everything from Texas, except for a few paintings we're bringing from Maine, but they also belong to Texans who have summer homes in Maine, okay? So it is a major effort for any museum, I think, to do a Wyeth exhibition, but we're doing it as a regional museum. Moreover, we're branding it with Texas. We're only bringing the artwork that's in Texas, basically, or owned by Texas, and making it into one show. And that's where the significance is, I think.
Obviously, these 3 artists are very diverse in the styles that they paint in, with NC with his storybook illustrations, and Andrew with his realism, and then you have Jamie, who's kind of in some ways in between those two styles, sort of. He definitely seems to draw some from his grandfather as well as from his father. How do you see this exhibition as kind of being representative of all those very diverse styles? Like, what have you been able to do to kind of best represent the diversity of this family?
Well, that was partly kind of dependent on what the Texas collectors collected. So it wasn't the case in this exhibition where I was able to go all over the country and get the most representative examples of certain styles that they practiced. However, The interesting thing is that some people talk about the Wyeths world and then the Wyeths dynasty, and it's true, like you said, that it starts with N.C., the grandfather. And the grandfather had a teacher, Howard Pyle, and he was a very well-known illustrator. And N.C. also becomes a very well-known illustrator, or at least regarded as an artist who did a lot of illustrations. And indeed, the illustrations that he did for like Treasure Island, Jules Verne's Mysterious Island, what is it, Boys, King Arthur, those books, in a sense, sold because of N.C.'s illustrations. The situation was entirely different back then. You didn't have the kind of access to images and graphics that we do now. So what was really important was the picture you see in the books.
Sure. That
made you buy that book and read it. Now, N.C. is regarded as an illustrator, although we have one important painting in this gallery that we borrowed from the Dallas Museum of Art. And that almost looks like Andrew Wyeth's paintings. And then we also have in the Jamie Wyeth gallery some of the paintings that are very, very evocative of his father. They did practice very different styles, it's true, but Jamie would say that he was influenced most by his father and his grandfather. You know, it's a very interesting kind of like a family, what do you call that, an artistic tradition we're representing here.
What are some of the significant pieces that are on display in this exhibition?
Let's see now, with NCs, for instance.
Or any of them.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. There's a wonderful egg tempera painting by Andrew Wyeth. It's actually a portrait of her sister, Henriette. That's a real important one. Let's see now. Some of the illustrations we see in this gallery by NC, they're very prominent. Okay. Fight at the Foretop, which is over there. Franklin arrives in Philadelphia. This is a real, a good one too. And then of Jamie's paintings, let's see now. We do have a lot of interesting, let's see now, preliminary studies, but like the wolf dog, that's a fabulous, fabulous painting, I think.